going to go over like the bare basics of algebra. Because if you can even do the basics, you're definitely not going to be able to do the multi steps. But for a bare basic algebra problem, we have x plus 2 equals 6. So you have each of these parts, but what are they? What's the purpose of it? So first we have our x, which is, our x is our variable. This is the number that we are always looking to find. Because ultimately, even though you have this problem, you have x, so you're solving for x, or y, or z. There's always going to be multiple letters. It might be a, b, c. But for this one, we have x. That's your most common basic variable for the algebra. So you have your variable. Next, you have your operator. Now, your operator is the symbol in order to solve for the x. So for this one, we have addition. It could also be subtraction, multiplication, division, PEMDAS. What else is in there? Goodness, there's a ton of ways you can do exponents, everything else. So this is our operator. This is our main problem thing. And then last, we have both of these, and these are constants. These are just numbers that ultimately you need to solve your problems. Otherwise, you're just looking at x6 or x equals 6. Without this, you're not going to be able to solve the problem. So you have your problem, x plus 2 equals 6. It's your variable, your operator, your constants. So now your variable is, like I said, it's what you're trying to solve. So for this one, to be able to solve this problem, ultimately what you're trying to do is get x by itself. So for this problem, we have x plus 2 equals 6. Now how are you going to get x by itself? Well, you're going to sit here and we need to cancel out our 2. To cancel out our 2, we need to equal 0. So what plus 2 is 0? Well, a negative 2. So we're going to put minus 2. That cancels both of those out. We're going to subtract 2 from this side. That equals, because we're going to drop it down, we're going to have x equals 6 minus 2 is 4. So then your answer is x minus 2, x plus 2, just kidding, equals 6. Bringing down your steps equals x equals 4. Now, algebra is one of those tricky things that it's easy to confuse. So like even if x plus 2 is 6, or you're canceling out your 2's, what if you confused it and you just brought down 2? Well, to check your answer, you're ultimately going to fill in what you solved for and plug it in. So we got 4, so we're going to put 4 right here. And we're going to put 4 plus 2 equals 6. That is correct. 4 plus 2 is 6. And our answer was 6. So therefore we know our answer is correct. Now, just to show how if we were to confuse it, oh, what an ugly board now. Okay, I'll clean that better later. So like back with our original problem, x plus 2 equals 6. If we're dropping it down and we forgot to cancel out the 2, and you just went plus 2, well now your answer is x equals 8, right? So if we were to plug it in, 8 plus 2 is 6. But this is obviously wrong. 8 plus 2 is 10, and that does not equal 6. So it's really important to remember anytime whenever you're doing your algebra and you're dropping it down to get your x by itself, that you really want to make sure that you're doing the correct thing to cancel out the number with the x. So let's do another problem that shows how to double check this. So ready for the weekend. Okay, that's better. Okay. Okay. So a lot of problems, whenever you're working on, your stuff, a lot of worksheets will have two different ways of doing this. You have some that they're just going to sit there and show like y plus 4 equals 8. Okay? And they want you to solve for y. Another form of the problem is it's going to give you your y. Y equals 6. So they're going to tell you, evaluate the problems, each expression, which is your ultimate problem, when y equals 6. So then you could have a problem like 6 plus y equals what? So you're going to, for something like this one, like we said, we want to get the y by itself. So we're going to cancel out our 4. So we're going to drop that down because we want it to be y. So we're going to go minus 4. That is 4. Y equals 4. So then, like always, you want to double check your work. Cannot explain the importance of this. If you miss a simple thing as canceling out the right way, you just completely missed your entire problem. Always double check your work. So, we got y equals 4, so we're going to plug it in. 4 plus 4 equals 8. Alright, now for the other way of doing the problem, it says evaluate each expression when y equals 6. So we have 6 plus y is what? Well, if it gives us our 6 is y, we're going to go 6 plus y is 6 also. That's 12. So then ultimately your answer right here would be 12. What do we think? Does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense.
Awesome.
You going to give me some more samples?
Yes, I will do another sample.
One of each.
One of each. Okay.
I'm a slow learner.
Okay, let's see here. Alright. So we're going to say evaluate each expression when y equals 3. Okay? So we're going to do 2 plus y equals what? So, for this one, we're going to key it in exactly like it shows. The way of this problem is pretty much just to show that even though there's a letter in here, because a lot of people get scared by the idea of a letter being in a problem, it's still addition. It's still your basic addition. All you're doing is bringing it down. 2 plus y is 3, so plus 3 is
5.
5. So therefore our answer is 5. I mean, seems pretty simple enough. And then for the actual algebra problem, we're going to do, what did I just do? We're going to do a different one. We're going to go x minus 7 equals 5. Okay, so for this one, we're solving for x. So we're going to do it again like we did earlier. We're going to ultimately want x by itself. In order to do that, we have to get x alone by canceling out the 7.
Mm-hmm.
So, ultimately, we want x equals. Now, would it be correct if I were to just drop this down and do minus 7 from both sides?
No.
We're correct. Because 7 minus 7 minus 7 over here. Way wrong. 7 minus 7, because both are negative, it's positive.
Positive 14.
That would be 14. So that's wrong. That's not getting x by itself. That's doubling x. So we're going to change this. And we're going to change that to a positive 7. That cancels it out. 7 plus 5 is what?
12.
12. So x equals 12. Then, like before, like always, you always want to do this. You're going to check your work. We're going to go 12 minus 7 equals 5. Is that correct? Well, what is 12 minus 7? 5. Does that equal 5? Yes, it does. We checked our work. We know our work's correct. And that is your basic algebra. It's your constant, your variable, your operator, and then your answer. It's addition. It's just solving for the letter. You just have to plug it in and go with it. It's really easy. As you go on, there's obviously going to be more steps. But if you remember your basics, you can always add on to it. It's like stairs. Start from the bottom, you work your way to the top. You can get there. Thanks!